Sculpting royalty takes as its starting point a new acquisition to our sculpture collection, and this is a sculpture called Souvenir 10, Princess Alexandra by the contemporary artist Hugh Locke. Locke's Souvenir series, an ongoing series since 2018, and in this series Locke appropriates Parian ware busts of members of the royal family that were produced in the 19th century. Now, Parian ware was an unglazed ceramic designed to resemble marble, which was popularised in the 1840s to allow sculptures to be mass-produced and displayed in Victorian homes. So essentially it's a souvenir, as the title suggests, and he essentially dresses them up, embellishing them with gold and gilt, lace, all sorts of materials, making them into new artworks. When I was cataloguing our new work, I realised that the Parian ware was actually based on an original marble sculpture by the 19th century sculptor Mary Thornycroft. Primarily known as a mother and a wife of sculptors, she was also actually a very important sculptor in her own right and also successful. She was famously patronised by the royal family and worked for Queen Victoria, sculpting members of the royal family for decades. Over this time, she produced works in bronze and in marble of the different generations of the royal family.
This kind of works where he paints photos of monuments of the city of the United Kingdom is pretty interesting. I think monuments have always been used for communities to express their needs or their new way of not being erased by history. So probably the artist is reflecting of his personal way of use the monuments, of a new way of communicating something he feels, something he needs to show to viewers.
When Hugh Locke grew up in Guyana, he remembers the sight of walking past a sculpture of Queen Victoria every day on the way to school. And it's interesting that this is all about the period of Guyana being a former colony and images of Queen Victoria being disseminated across the empire in sculptural form. The sculpture that Locke walked past every day was later dynamited in anti-colonial protest. So this basically spawned the idea of a display, what it would mean to show Hugh Locke's work alongside Mary Thornycroft, the very artist whose work he appropriates, and what it means to show Victorian sculptor who's, working for the members of the royal family against a contemporary artist who is essentially critiquing monarchy and memorialisation.
I think it's a very interesting exhibition. It helps viewers to understand how the Henry Moore Institute acts as an intermediary between the new way of art expression and their possible meanings and the public.